Viewers, the long wait is over. Vaibhav Suryavanshi has finally announced himself on the international stage. And what an entrance it was. Vaibhav hit a maximum of Jofra Archer's very first ball in Manchester. The boy from Bihar has spent 2 years humbling legends of the game Chris Gayle, AB de Villiers, Sanju Samson, to name a few, breaking their records one by one. And how? And now the latest name on that list is none other than the master blaster himself, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, who has broken Sachin Tendulkar's 37-year-old record to become the youngest ever Indian international debutant at just 15 years and 99 days. The prodigy scored a modest 14 of 10 balls in his maiden appearance. But nobody is reading too much into that, because when you've done what this 15-year-old has already done, the world doesn't just hope for more. It expects it. And the chatter among the cricketing fraternity proves exactly that. And that's what we are going to be discussing with our next set of guests. We have with us Nikhil Sharma, sports commentator and author, Vedam Jaishankar, sports journalist, Gaurav Sethi, founder, Board Cricket Crazy Indians. Good evening to all of you. Thank you for joining us here on Times Now. Nikhil, to you first, your first reaction to this historic milestone in the life and career of Vaibhav Suryavanshi.
Well, Heena, I think, as far as Vaibhav Suryavanshi is concerned, I don't think anything feels historic to him now, because just the way the boy has gone about playing his cricket in the last couple of years, he's been, every award, individual award in the IPL, the boys won. I think it's the right time to just let him loose and let him enjoy his cricket. We shouldn't make much of the 14 runs that he scored, but look at, just the way the confidence he hit Jofra Archer for that maximum. So from the perspective of Vaibhav Suryavanshi, I don't think there's anything to this boy that he might find extraordinary. If anything, I think people outside the field have been very excited about him playing, about him, whether he should debut now, whether he should have debuted 2 games before. But I think any time is the right time for somebody who's as he's a prodigy.
Okay. Vedam Jaishankar, we spoke in the evening as well about this, milestone, this moment that Vaibhav Suryavanshi was really waiting for. He has also surpassed Master Blaster's record and has become the youngest ever cricketer to don that blue cap today.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the whole world loves a young champion. And we've seen this again and again. Sachin Tendulkar was a beloved world champion. Just at the age of 16, the world loved him, And it's the same with Suryavanshi. Now, the great thing about these things is, at that age, it doesn't really sink in. What you are doing or what you have done doesn't really sink in. It takes about 3 or 4 years for it to sink in. By that time, if you have made a name for yourself, if you've got runs under your belt, then you're on your way. And that's exactly where Suryavanshi is. Yes, like Nikhil said, the excitement for outsiders or people outside that frame is overwhelming. But for Suryavanshi, it's just another day. That's how he's starting. I mean, his dreams of playing for India have really fructified at a very young age. And right now, it still hasn't sunk in. But the way he went about it, those 14 runs that he made, he showed that he belonged here. It's not that he was not overawed by the occasion or the situation. He showed that he belonged here. And that's the best part of it. And the important thing right now is, I'm very glad they gave him a chance in the second match rather than the last match, because now he knows there are another 3 matches to go and he needs to come good sooner or later. And it's easier when you have more opportunities. A batsman like him is not really going to make runs in every innings that he goes out. But when he makes runs, that's going to be dynamic and it's going to be extraordinary. And he's now got more opportunities to show that he can pull off that top drawer stuff that we know, at least everybody who's followed IPL knows that he is capable of, irrespective of whom he is against.
I'll ask you why you think that it's better that he was given an opportunity in the second match and not the first one. In just a bit, let me take the opening comments from
Not
Gaurav
the first
Sethi.
one. I said rather than the last one.
Yeah, the last one.
Last one.
Yes.
I mean, given.
No, I will talk about it. Let me take the opening comments from Gaurav Sethi as well. He's been waiting patiently. Gaurav Sethi, people are really comparing him with the record that he has broken of Sachin Tendulkar. I mean, I was just looking at the records. It was against Pakistan, and even in the first match, Sachin Tendulkar had scored 15, and Vaibhav Suryavanshi got out at 14. So, do you think it's like a very similar kind of a beginning there for both of them, and it's the Vaibhav Suryavanshi era that one should be looking forward to?
So it's inevitable that the comparisons with Sachin Tendulkar will happen. For I think anyone who has loved cricket from the time Sachin started playing, or even before that, and has been a part of Sachin's career, he has been the benchmark. He has been the benchmark because he started so young. And he captured India's imagination. Now, already in the last 2 years, what we have seen is that Vaibhav Suryavanshi has captured our imagination. To score runs, to break records is one thing. But when you talk about capturing the imagination of a country, you're talking about a very high, you can't even call it a ballpark because it's right up there. It is maybe not even within the grasp of most sports persons at this age. So where he is defying so much of cricketing sports logic is that he has, of course, made his debut when he's so young. The comparisons with Sachin will continue. And I think that in a way is a toast to Vaibhav's credibility as a cricketer, the hard yards that he has put in, his family has put in.
Right.
Before I came on to this show, I did a little prep to warm myself with what Vaibhav is about. I mean, we have gone through this over the last couple of years, the last 2 IPLs. All I did was I went to Siddharth Monga's Crick Info profile of Vaibhav Suryavanshi.
Right.
Now, Siddharth is someone who I've known for years and have enjoyed speaking cricket with.
Right.
And that gave me a snapshot, and you have to go back to where it started with his father, where they aspire to be, like Brian Lara, the backlift, where it comes down from. The cricketing nuances are fascinating.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is where you embrace the hard yards of what this cricketer is.
Absolutely. Vedam Jayashankar, now coming back to the point that you had made earlier, why you felt what you said.
Yeah, see, logically, if you look at it, he should have got his chance against Ireland. I say that logically because then it would have meant he's got 7 matches. Play him, tell him straight away, you're going to play this entire tour. You're going to play 7 matches and let him play with the freedom that he wants. But, making him wait and you could say the rest of the country, but it wouldn't really be fair to the player. But making him wait for 3 matches, I thought was a little unnecessary. 2 matches against Ireland, then 1 match again here. And they kept saying that, yes, he has to play, but you should not drop anybody. How can he play if you don't drop anybody? You have to drop somebody for him to play. And, if they had just given him a token debut in the last match of the series, then that would have been very unfair. It's good that he's playing the second match and that he's going to get a run of at least 3 to 4 matches. And the thing to be guarded against is that he does not burn out now. Okay. Now it's left up to the board and their mentorship to ensure that he doesn't get burnt out much quicker. Okay. So at least a 10-year career is what we're looking at. But a 10-year career will be able only if the board handles this entire process well.
Absolutely. Nikhil, now, there were too many conspiracy theories when he was not being given that place in playing 11. And many critics were of the view that he needs to have patience, he needs to wait. And some even have written things like, his style is not really sustainable. How will you like to respond to them?
at it and you keep feeling it should not break, it should not break, it should not break, invariably it does. So what you should do is not to bother too much about what's happening, what's the noise around. Athletes thrive in that. You know, if you worry too much about what everybody else is thinking and you let your mind get into what everybody is thinking and writing, then you're not going to be able to perform on the field. Yes, there are certain things that you can be mindful of, but I think if he's done what he's done with Rajasthan Royals, I think there's management, there's good people guiding him. There's, of course, his family, which seems to be very well grounded. He's just begun a journey that's a marathon journey. You know, you cannot be compared to Sachin Tendulkar by playing one T20 international or winning, the most valuable player in the IPL or scoring all of those runs. Sachin Tendulkar is a name that, possibly is the best of the best of the best that's ever played the sport.
Right.
To get there in all three forms, you have to prove your worth. And I think this is just the beginning. The boy should keep his head down and focus on his game.
All right.
That's all I can say that he should react to.
I think we all will like to wish Vaibhav all the Vaibhav or glory that he deserves. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us here on Newshour Special Edition this Saturday.